All right, y'all. We out here. I'll wait for people to show up a little bit. Confirm that y'all can hear me, that everything is all good to go. See. It is trying to sign in on my end so I can chat. Oh, no, it won't let me do that. Okay. All right. It looks like we have 0 viewers. I'm not sure yet. So I'm just gonna hang out here until somebody shows up. I will tell you all what it is we're here to do when some people are here, so that I don't have to repeat myself too many times. Oh, it looks like I made a mistake here. And this is overlaying on this. Can I fix that? I can. Nice. Removing that. Tony, Steven, shouts out. Thanks y'all for being here. Please confirm if you can hear me and that I am sounding okay. And we shall hang out. Also, hey Jeff, what's up? Thank y'all for being here. Cool, thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that. Sounding good, sounding good. Thank you, Tony. I appreciate that. All right. Deep and sultry, as I am known to be. Thank you. I was gonna say something not related to the sultriness or lack thereof of my own voice, but what else? Oh, yeah. While we're waiting for people to arrive, it looks like we got 8 people. So at least 5 of you need to pop in and say hi. Thanks y'all for showing up. I know this was a little bit last minute. This is going to be, I'm going to do my best to make this a weekly thing. Sunday stream. We are reborn. Just like Jesus Christ on the 3rd day, we shall rise and stream again. Yeah, that's the idea. Hi, friends. Tara Kirk? I'm not sure who you are, but thank you for being here. Hi, Tony. Thanks for being here. Hope y'all are doing well. Yeah, while we wait just a little bit for people to know that this is happening and pop in, what have y'all been watching? Tell me what you've been watching, what you've been reading, what you've been listening to, and any pickups you have recently. I'd like to know. We'll be going over all of mine fairly soon. Knights of the World. Shouts out to you. Hello. Thank you for being here. We shall see. Actually, let me... Working on the movie room and basement all day. Jeff has a fucking sick-ass movie room, for sure. 50th anniversary screening of Deep Red. Is that going to be, like, what else is going on there to make that special? A Q&A with Dario Argento in Australia? I would say a new restoration, but that restoration has kind of been out, you know? So I doubt it's that. Is it on 35? That would be cool. Or is it a DCP? I mean, it'll look beautiful regardless, but, you know. Pickups mean physical media indeed. Anything that you've picked up. It can be books, it can be records, it can be whatever. Vince. Hi, everybody. I just adopted a cat and I'm trying to get him to eat. Well, you will see that that's similar to what we're doing here. Congratulations on getting a cat. Cats are the best. They are literally the elite perfect creatures. And I love them so much. What is your cat's name? Not on 4K, that's a bummer. Hercules in the Haunted World. Not expecting just how bava the visuals would be. Hard recommend. I mean, that sounds good to me. Who directed that? Going to watch Virtuosity. Latest pickup would be some terrible Steven Seagal movies. Nice. Cats are absolutely beautiful. That's a perfect segue for the cat fundraiser tonight. I wore my All Cats Are Beautiful ACAB shirt. We out here repping the goated creatures, cats. Oh, Bava. Duh. I thought you were saying they were influenced by Bava, but no, they are in fact simply just Bava. His name is Prince Charming. Well, I'm sure he is. Charming indeed. We got 12 people here. That's pretty cool. I will try to make these more consistent. Just last night was an absolute fucking nightmare, and so it kind of... My goal was to do this at 3. That's the goal moving forward, is to have these at 3. Next week it'll also be later because I am working on Sunday, and so I'll have to do it later. But generally speaking, we want to do this at 3 o'clock. And so I'll have more time to promote it, as it were. Finally watched Blood and Black Lace and really loved it. Yeah, that's because it's fucking amazing. That's like one of the best movies ever made. It's so good. It's unreal how good that thing looks and how influential it is. I absolutely need that Arrow 4K for sure. Lamberto Bava is the best Bava. Just kidding. He's terrible, but I love him. Thank you. Tara Kirk, you're the best. Look at that. Our little guy. You've made Godzilla very happy. Although I realize now that I need to move him up too. Let's play that one back. Let's run it back. Still too low. There we go. Okay. Hell yeah. Thank you so much. Pluto says thank you. She appreciates it. We are 1.67% of the way towards our goal, which I understand is lofty. But, okay. I think we're... Oh, Tony. Our 2 cats are wonderful. They let us live in their space. Yeah, well, that's kind of how it is. You need the cat's permission more than anything, right? Alright. So let me give y'all 13, lucky number 13 people here. Let me give y'all the rundown for what's going on and why we're here. I mean, we're here because I'm going to be streaming every Sunday. That's the goal moving forward. Hopefully, tentatively, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every week. Doing my bullshit, whatever. Probably Letterboxd catch-ups to start off, and then chatting with you guys. We can talk about whatever is happening in the world of movies or whatever else. We'll probably talk politics a little bit, because that's just kind of how I am. We can react to dumb bullshit, whatever. If any of you guys have any ideas, or you have anything you want me to watch or react to or whatever, throw them in the chat at some point, and we can do that in the future, you know? Brenton, hello. Thank you for being here. Okay, so my cat, Miss Pluto, has had an allergic reaction for a while now. And she is FIV positive, so these things affect her more than they would affect a normal cat. It's because I switched her to a cheap food, because I was trying to save money on her special urinary food, because it is expensive. Even though I can just get it at the store, it is still expensive. That ended up being probably the most expensive bag of food I've ever purchased in my life, because she's allergic to something in it. I don't know what, but her ears and like her little bald spots over her eyes, and you know, in the little connecting bald spot from her eyes to her ears, they were very red. Like, it was very obvious that something was going on. And so I switched her back. Like, I called her vet, and they were like, probably the food. So I would switch her back. So I did that, and it went away, but she was scratching like cuts into her face and into her body. Like, there were scabs all over her. And so I trimmed her nails so that she would stop doing that. But unfortunately, she moved on to just biting them off of her skin. And I think, we'll see at the follow-up on Wednesday, but I think that what is happening is because she keeps doing that, it's making her reaction worse, and so she's getting red again, and it's obviously like bothering her again. And so I called my regular vet, because I didn't want to take her to the emergency vet, and I Called them, made an appointment for this coming Wednesday. And they told me, it's probably just a reaction, but you want to make sure that she's not tearing at her skin because that's going to be making it worse. So go ahead and put a cone on her, and that way she'll leave her skin alone until we can see her on Wednesday. We'll see what's going on and address any issues, right? Pretty straightforward. So I ordered her cone. It arrived. I put it on her quite easily, but she hated it. She was freaking out. She was like backing up and hiding and losing her mind on account of the cone. And I thought, whatever. She's not used to it. She's not going to like it. It's fine. But when it came time to eat, she wouldn't eat. Like, it looked like she couldn't. Like, she couldn't figure out how to eat. And so I was like, okay, whatever. We'll take it off so that you eat something. But she refused to eat even after taking the cone off. Yeah, no worries, Tony. I'll see you when you're back. So she was still not eating and like hiding and acting as if she had the cone on even when she didn't. And I thought, whatever, I'll give her time to eat her food. So I sectioned her off in my bedroom away from the other cat. Oh, look, you can see the you can see the fucking cat carrier right here. So I let her uh yeah, I sectioned her off in here and I was like, she'll just take her time to eat. It's fine. And she didn't eat her food. Like, she just was refusing to eat. And, in the morning she started eating again, and then she refused to eat again. She was kind of off and on. And I started to get worried because she would not leave my room. She would not eat. She would not use the bathroom. She wasn't drinking water, any of that stuff. Um, she was essentially like pitching a fit and like going on her own hunger strike to avoid having to wear the cone. I'm not really sure, but I took it off of her and she was still behaving this way. Um, so I called her primary vet and they called me back and I was like, hey, I'm getting concerned. Like, I thought that this would be kind of a temporary thing and she would adjust back or whatever. And she was still scratching herself and biting and all this stuff. And they were like, yeah, just put the cone back on. It's kind of a tough love thing. They pretend like they can't eat with it on, but they can. They'll figure it out. And she should be fine. And I was like, okay. So I put the cone back on her. And she did start to eat on and off again. The past few days, she's probably eating half what she usually eats because she is not, it's not like she's eating nothing, but she's kind of like stopping halfway through, like, and refusing to finish her food. Um, so I thought, they told me basically like as long as she eats, as long as it hasn't been longer than 24, 48 hours, something like that, before she stops eating, like, or since the last time she eats, like, it should be okay. Like, we just need to make it to the appointment on Wednesday. Um, and at a certain point, she was just not cooperating. It was like she was eating less and less. She was, like, I had realized the thing that really concerned me was that she had not gone to the bathroom in over 24 hours. Like, she had not urinated or defecated in 24 hours. Sorry, very sexy stuff we're talking about right now, but like, Um, and so I called the local emergency vet, and the first time I had done this, they were kind of like, keep an eye on her. It's your call, but like, these are the guidelines more or less. This time when I called them, they were pretty much immediately like, look, we can't say anything without looking at her. That's up to you. I ran to the store to get her like the stinkiest, most high value, delicious, nasty fucking cat food I could find to entice her to eat. And then, I'd put water in it. I'd give her like some broth and everything, and that would like get her some fluids, and then presumably, she would use the bathroom, right? Didn't happen. She ate some of it, but then she just refused to use the bathroom still, and she wouldn't finish it. Just, this is abnormal behavior for her, she's still hiding under the bed and everything. And so I made the call to take her to the vet. Um, I had to miss my best friend Val's birthday party, which I'm very upset about, to do this, and I was hoping this would be a quick, like, I'll just show up late. I'll go there, they'll take a look at her, maybe draw blood. It'll be like an hour, 2 hours, we'll be back. Unfortunately, the nature of emergency vets is such that you can't do that. Like, I mean, you can, but like if it's busy, then she gets pushed to the back of the line because even though she needs attention, it's not like her face is falling off or she's like actively dying or something, you know. So we got her there. They saw me pretty quickly. They took her in the back, and it was probably 2 hours before I heard anything. And the front desk person was like, "Hey, here's the like consent form for you to sign off on the estimated charges and if we have to hold her overnight and everything." And they estimated $700 that this would cost me, and that's just to diagnose it. That's before any treatment. Um, and so I said, I don't have that. Can I like talk to somebody to like figure out what we can do here? And somebody saw me after another hour or so waiting. And they basically told me like, you know, we can go step by step, and I can talk to the vet and find out like what the most likely thing is to find something, and if we don't find anything, we'll move on to the next step and basically run down the list instead of doing it all at once, right? So they had already done the exam, so that was already like $150. And the thing that would give us the most information would be blood work, and that was another 250 essentially. So we skipped doing the urinary analysis and some other things that they had on the list. So I was looking at about 450 instead of 700, something like that. And that was more doable. I mean, it's not, I don't have any money, but like that was more practical, right? So we did that, and the blood work showed pretty obvious stuff going on, like um, low white blood cell count, dehydration, some other things. But the white blood cells was the primary concern. And so basically the guy told me like at this stage, like if money wasn't an issue, we would just recommend hospitalizing her. But because it would cost $3,500 to do that, um, she is safe to go home and like you just monitor her and administer her medication and stuff. So they gave me antibiotics and an appetite stimulant, basically anti-nausea stuff. And she peed on the way home. She finally peed. It was not in her box. It was in the little like little diaper pad they gave her. Whatever, it's better than nothing. I don't have a sense of smell. That's a fun fact about me. So I did not realize this until later. I was like hoping that she would use the bathroom, and then I like checked her box and I saw that it was like crumpled up and soaking wet and yellow, and I was like, thank God she finally peed. Because if she didn't pee, I would have to take her back today. They were like, you know, it'll probably be a few more days before she poops, and that's okay. But she should pee by tomorrow. And I was like, what happens if she doesn't pee by tomorrow? And they were like, you should take her back in. So we're looking at another at least $500 if that were to happen. So she, thank God, peed on the way home. She ate at least half of her. I gave her a big dinner when we got home, and she ate half of it. I gave her a normal breakfast this morning, and she ate half of it. So that's where we're at. Basically, the game plan is to help her live until Wednesday, and right now she's just hiding under my bed still with her cone back on. She's pitching a fit. Um, I think she used the bathroom again. There's litter on the floor, so I think so. I haven't like dug through it yet, but that's what I think happened. Um, that's it. I have $30 right now. I don't make a lot of money. I have $30. So that the bill to leave yesterday was 571, and all of that went on my credit card. Um, and the appointment on Wednesday, the exam fee is going to be $30. And then obviously we're going to have to do blood work again and whatever else they decide is appropriate. So I don't know what that's going to cost, but it's going to be a lot lower because it's not an emergency. It's my low cost vet through the SPCA, where I adopted her. So that long anecdote is all to implore you all to help me and my cat if you are able. I understand that everybody is struggling right now and it's a big ask. And we have a lofty goal here. I don't expect to reach this goal by today or anything like that, but if we could just get me before where I was before yesterday, that would be amazing because I'm already struggling to pay what's on my credit card, and now it was like 1,000 before, and now obviously it's like 1,700. So And I still have to go take my car in for inspection, for an oil change, for tire rotation, stuff like that. Who knows when I'll be able to do that. But we have our little progress bar on the screen here. 600 is the goal. But any amount helps, genuinely. Anything would be wonderful. Okay, I talked at y'all for a while, and the chat has been quiet, hopefully because you were good and attentive listeners. Brendan says, poor kitty. Yeah, I know. Y'all want to see if I can get her? See if she can make a cameo, say hi? Let's see what I can do. 1 second. Pluto. Come here, sweetie. Come on. Come on. Pluto. She is hiding under the bed. It's not going to happen right now. I'd have to scoop her out, and I don't know if that's going to happen. We'll see. Let me try one more time. Hey. Come here. Your fans want to see you, Pluto. Come here. I don't think it's going to happen. Jeff, I don't know. I don't do a lot of it either, so you'd have to, hopefully we'll figure it out together. Anyway, like I said earlier, I got my cat shirt on, ACAB, all cats are beautiful. I've got my Black Cat Cafe mug with the rest of my coffee in it. We are themed today. All right. We still got like 10 people hanging out. That's pretty cool. All right. If y'all have cats, drop their names in the chat, please. This is a cat-themed stream. This is cat-tastic, as it were. Yeah, I don't know. Just wanted to catch y'all up, let you know what was going on. Anyone know who the CEO of Kitty Healthcare is? Brain? Oh, Brain is the name of the cat. I thought that was the punchline to your joke, and I was like, I don't get it. Franco the cat is he named after Jess Franco? Because that would be pretty cool. Shadow, Pistachio, and Noodle. A lot of culinary names going on there. Sammy. Cute. Hi, Anthony. Thank you for being here. Jasugare? I don't know how to pronounce your name. I apologize. But thank you for sharing your lovely cat's name. Ashanti. That's classy sounding. If you want to, like, put the inspiration for the cat names, too, that would be appreciated. I love knowing where people get their cat name ideas from. What else? Pluto. If any of y'all have read Edgar Allan Poe's short story, The Black Cat, the name of the cat in that story is Pluto. That's where I got the name. And the Poe Museum here in Richmond had 2 black cats. And before she passed, they actually also had a cat named Pluto, which I did not know. But it made me feel good that me and the proprietors of the Poe Museum both independently arrived at the idea to name our black cats Pluto. And also, hold on, real quick. Let me go grab a prop. The Poe Museum sells plushies. So this is Pluto. This was gifted to me by somebody we don't talk about anymore, but very cute. Pluto the cat, and Pluto the cat under my fucking bed. Hopefully she'll come out in the next hour or so for a cameo, and y'all can see her. Sammy was nameless when we got him, so I named him after a pal who lives in Finland. That's very cute. Is that where all your, This is going to be a bit of an inside joke. Anthony is a giant fan of the band Him, as am I, which is a band from Finland. Do you have, like, a lot of friends in Finland because of that? Brain, because the wrinkles on his head look like a brain. I mean, hey, you gotta do what makes sense, you know? Pistachio was his name when I adopted him. Shadow used to be Tammy, but Tammy is a no for an inside joke reason, and my girlfriend just started Noodle when he appeared around our house. Sometimes you gotta vibe out the cat names, you know? I put way too much thought into my cat names, but you can just vibe it out. You can just be like, that guy's a fucking noodle, and then there it is, you know? That's the whole thing. All right, we're back at 14 people. Very cool. Thanks y'all for hanging out. I really appreciate it. Again, if you can't donate, it's totally fine. Drop a like on the video, be active in the chat, share the link around. If you know any rich friends, send them my my StreamYard link, whatever. You know, whatever it is. Yes, the person he was named after was actually their first drummer. I wish it wasn't this way. Why do you wish it wasn't that way? That's a really cool name, and I didn't know that you were friends with a drummer from him. That's cool. Um, does the link take a percentage? It takes like 2% or something. It's whatever the PayPal business fee is, because it just goes straight to my PayPal business account. Um, but I'll play it one more time. When you donate, this is what happens. It makes Godzilla happy. And don't we all love that? Don't we all want that? Nothing like fucking YouTube. Like, Jesus Christ. Although, you know what? It is going to take more out when I do taxes next year. So, yep, much less than the 50 fucking percent that YouTube takes. I swear to God. Last year on my birthday, I did a stream. A very rare live stream for me, which is hopefully not going to be the case moving forward, but especially at the time, I hadn't done one in like a year. And I did one for my birthday just to hang out and say hello, and people were very generous with their gifts and the super chats and whatever, and I figured, you know, whatever, they probably take 10% off the top or whatever. And then I went to my um to my YouTube bank or whatever, and I was like, okay, well, one of them went through, but not the rest of them. Literally, it's because it takes half. So half of the money that people so generously donated just went to fucking YouTube. I don't think that that's what they wanted when they sent over the money, you know? Like, that's fucked up. But what can he do? All right. What you can do is turn off super chats and enable the Streamlabs link, which takes nothing, and it's just the PayPal fee. So that's fucking cool. Repping Godzilla for life starting next Sunday. Godzilla tattoo. That's so sick. A Godzilla tattoo is on my list of things I have to get. I think I'm going to get... It's one of the posters from... Actually, I can just pull it up here. I'm just going to pull up a different tab. I'm going to show you the Godzilla tattoo I'm going to get. Hopefully this works. There it is. You see that? That's my favorite Godzilla image, I think, from the original. That's the one I want for sure. So that's what we're going to go for. Whenever I have money again. I don't know. I genuinely don't know when the next time I will have money to get a tattoo will be. It's genuinely like, I don't know. The poster. The backdrop is good too, but the poster. Here, let me show it again. Yeah, this image right here. I mean, this is good too, but this one here, I just love this image. And I have a artist that I go to who specializes in black work, who I think would fucking crush it, so. But we're gonna do, it's crazy to me that I used to be able to afford tattoos. I don't know what's happened, but it's just, I can't anymore. The next fun thing I'm going to do when I get any money is I'm going to get my ears stretched. We're going to do gauges. Pretty small, but still nonetheless. So whenever I have money to spare, that's what we're going to do. I can understand them taking half of the ad revenue, but the donations should be like 10%. Absolutely. Like, yeah, the ad revenue is fine. I get it. Like, and I think that is, actually, they might take more. I don't remember. But like, yeah, we're like splitting the pot on that because like they're the platform and we're the creators, you know? So it's like, I get it. The ad revenue is what it is. But the donations, they're donations. Like, they're for me. Like, I get it again. You're hosting the platform, but like, it shouldn't be this thing where like you're taking an obscene amount of money like that. I mean, that's just crazy. So now they get none of it because I'm turning that shit off. I think I still have super thanks for like comments and stuff. I mean, if people really want to do that, that's fine. Um, but the tip jar, the tip jar link, and Patreon are the ways to go. That's just a heads up for literally any creator, by the way. If you want them to actually get all the money, Patreon and Streamlabs links, PayPal links, that kind of thing. Pretty much everywhere is going to take something unless you just kind of like Venmo them under the table. That's the only way they'll keep 100% of it. But for if you want to support creators, those are the ways to do it. The artist that's doing it was on Ink Master last season, and his work is so crazy and original, so I can't wait to see what he comes up with. Showa era. Are you doing a specific, like, are you showing him a specific shot or design or whatever, or are you just giving him free reign to do based on the Showa era or whatever? Did I purchase anything during the most recent flash sale? I did not. And I'm really glad I didn't because I didn't have the money, straight up. I had to pick up some special medication. I had to renew my Easy Pass. It was just bills is what came up, and that's what I used the last of my money for. So, and now there's this. So yeah. We got Discord messages that I'm looking at. I have let's see. A friend is coming over after this, so just making sure that they're not texting me anything super time sensitive. All right, I think that's enough vamping. Do y'all want to do the Letterboxd stuff now? I told him the suit from Godzilla vs. Megalon or to Terror of Mechagodzilla. That's what Godzilla looks like to me when I think of being a kid. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. So, cool. All right, let's go. So, if you're a longtime viewer of this channel, I used to do this with some regularity. Once a month I would just talk about everything I watched, and I haven't done that in years, but we're gonna go ahead and talk about it here. Oh, let me move this back again. Here, and then here. This is very good television, I know. I'm just kind of fixing my setup here. And that can go there, something like that. And then, yeah, the alert box is good there. Tip goal is good there. Tracker is good there. Chat is probably fine there. I mean, you can't really see the first one we're going to talk about, but that's okay. You'll just have to believe me. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to just catch us up. Instead of catching up from where I left off, which is like 2 years ago, we're just going to catch up 2025. I'll go as fast as I can, I guess. And we'll go from there. If we don't finish, we'll finish next week. And if we finish, then next week we'll just do whatever it is I watched from today until that day. And then this can just be a weekly thing where I just catch you up on what I've been watching. And that can fill space. Okay. So, first up, we have the original Nosferatu. Oh, Jeff says I gotta watch Alucarda. I mean, probably. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna throw on the Plex server because, you know, it's just a DVD out there. So it is what it is. But yeah, I do need to see that. Okay. Again, okay, we're just gonna be oh, it's on yours. That's cool. I will check that out, but I'll probably try to get it for everyone else too. What was I trying to say? Oh, we're just gonna be going through my shit, but let's see. And yes, please feel free to keep being active in the chat. This is very loosey goosey, free form, just hanging out, talking about movies. If y'all have any hot takes on the movies we discuss or anything like that, feel free to share. I'd love to read it. Okay. Hidaiki Talks says, I'm late but want to send some of my cat love to Pluto. I had a cat with an extreme over grooming issue. Had to have a cone. I'm sorry. Lots of Cocktail Twins EPs and Cindy Lee and Jess Franco. Hell yeah, Cocktail Twins is amazing. And yeah, shout out to your cat. Are they doing okay now? Have they gotten used to the cone, or do they need the cone still? Like, what's going on there? TBH, the original Nosferatu didn't do much for me besides a few of the iconic shots, which were genuinely thrilling. Yeah, for sure. I don't know why I can never remember this dude's name. Okay, yeah, there's my review. Dave Callett, I guess that's how you pronounce it. The way that I watched this was with his commentary because I'd seen this a few times already, and I wanted to prepare for my podcast discussion with Annie Malamet over on Girls, Guts, and Giallo, which if you haven't heard yet, fucking rips. And you should. So check that out for sure. You can purchase it on my Patreon, or you can just sign up. You should probably just sign up. Okay, so yes, I watched it with his commentary, and I kind of agree with you. It's not my least favorite Nosferatu. Well, maybe it is actually. No. It's definitely not. I think the design is iconic, and I love it. There's a lot of it's kind of the problem with a lot of this early silent film stuff is that there's a lot of just empty space. Or there's a lot of it's a very slow pace. You know what I mean? Like they're kind of hard because the pacing that we're so accustomed to and the sort of filmmaking techniques that we're accustomed to just isn't there. So it's like a very rudimentary version of like the thing that we're there to do. You know. But it is what it is. Overall, I do still really love it. Like the visuals are just so beautiful. But I think if you can't tell from my not to brag, but the original one sheet of Nosferatu the Vampire by Herzog that I have here, that's my favorite Nosferatu adaptation by like a country mile. It's so fucking good. So that's the first one. But his commentary is incredible. He's a Godzilla scholar too, which is really cool. So my goal is to watch his Godzilla commentaries as well because they're on the Criterion discs, and then some of them are on YouTube just because they were on old DVDs that didn't get carried over. So I'll be listening to those at some point. But he wrote books on Godzilla as well that I absolutely will need to check out. All right, so that's number one. Next was this documentary, The Language of Shadows, Murnau, the Early Years in Nosferatu. It really wasn't very good. It was in German, which is fine, so they had subtitles, which is nice, but like it was just not that good. I remember thinking it was like kind of like very boring and not a lot of like good information in it. Yeah. So it was fine. Murnau's The Last Laugh. I need to check that out. I've never seen it. Those are great commentaries. They were on the old DVDs and they were really good listens. Yeah, I need to check those out for sure. I know that his commentaries for the OG Gojira and I think Godzilla King of the Monsters are on the Criterion, but he did other ones that are just on YouTube, so check those out. But also, this dude did a commentary for Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, which is one of the best audio commentaries I've ever heard in my life. So absolutely check that out. My phone is just blowing up. Let me make sure that there's nothing too important going on here. We're good. Okay. Next, The Damned. This was the first film that I saw in theaters in the year of our Lord 2025. I've got those DVD discs if you ever need me to rip the commentaries. That would be sick, actually, if you could do that. I would appreciate that. That would be really cool. The Damned. This is a film from... Where is it from? Yeah, Iceland. Yo, Nosferatu, thank you. I really appreciate that. We are now 3.33% of the way to our goal, and you have made Godzilla happy, as well as Pluto the cat. Thank you very much. Y'all are amazing. Let's keep that energy up. All right. I don't know how to pronounce this dude's name. Thordur Paulson? That was probably offensive. Oh, Jeff, yes, if you could rip that, that would be sick. That would rip, actually, as it were. Fucking hell. Okay. What else did this guy do? Nothing that I'm aware of. Okay. Can donate, but not until Friday. That is totally cool. Brenton, are you on my Patreon? You should sign up there. You'll get perks. And if you, depending on where you sign up, you can, like, hang out in our Discord. You can, get my exclusive videos, and I can send you postcards, which would be pretty cool. But yeah, no rush. It's totally fine. If you want to save it for next Friday or next Sunday, I will be streaming again. The Discord is a ton of fun. Listen to Jeff. He is correct. It is. It is, in fact, very cool. Okay, so I have a look how beautiful this shot is. Look, like, this fucking movie is so gorgeous. Like, honestly. What was I saying? Oh, I have this fun habit of being late to every single thing in my life. I wasn't late to this live stream, which is really cool, but that's because I just scheduled it when I was ready. If the goal was 3, I was super late, right? So the damned. Hey, we're almost at like 20 viewers. That's really cool. Reminder to new people, we are raising funds for my cat Pluto's vet bills, and the goal tracker is on screen if you want to help out. Okay. What else we got going on here? Okay, I have this fun habit of being late to everything, and so I also hate previews. So what that ends up meaning is that I just kind of price in previews to when I want to show up to a screening. So it used to be that I would add 30 minutes to whenever the start time was, but I realized that that was too long. I've tried to do more like 15 or 20 because it's usually 20 minutes of previews. But being a chronically late person, these calculations are all terrible anyway. I should really just aim for the time it actually starts, and then I'll be there when when I actually want to show up, you know. But for this one, I think the previews were even shorter than I was expecting or something, because I missed probably the first 15-20 minutes of it. But I was able to pick up on what happened. And I still haven't caught up. Usually when that because this happens to me a lot, I must confess. Usually what happens is I will watch the first bit that I missed when somebody puts it on Plex, or uh, last week I saw Novocaine and I got caught in the worst traffic of my entire life, and I quite literally missed the first half of the movie. I was shocked they still let me in, but um, I just came home and watched the first half of it through legal adjacent means that we don't need to specify. So that's usually what I do. But for this, I still haven't done it. I need to do that. My goal is to put this on my Plex server so that I can watch it, the first bit. Which, by the way, sorry, this is just an obnoxious stream where I'm just plugging things for you to give me money because I'm poor. If you sign up for my Patreon, you get access to my Plex server. So that's worth mentioning. That's it. That is all to say I need to catch the first 20 minutes of this again. That score is really unfair, I think. I don't really understand why people were not into this. I really liked it. And let's see, my review is here on screen. But yeah, I genuinely think that this is like a very like of the moment political film. It's a horror movie. It's shot in Iceland and it looks absolutely gorgeous. I think it was the first theatrical release of the year, so a lot of people saw it for that reason, or were expecting it to be bad because of that, but it's really not. I don't know. I think this is a film about the refugee crisis and about how the quote unquote first world is sort of having to deal with the guilt of the immeasurable cruelty and selfishness that we have enacted on those who need our help. I think that's what the film's about. That's just my take, but you know. I'm going way too slow. I really thought I could just cruise through these, huh? Um, Dark Side of the Rainbow. This is also on my Plex server. This is the cut of The Wizard of Oz with Dark Side of the Moon playing on a loop, and it's supposed to have these like really serendipitous moments of lining up such that people thought that it was actually like an unofficial score to like accompany the film. Uh, um, I had some friends over. Hi, Val. Thanks for being here. You were there for this one, which is really cool. I, me and Val in the chat. Hi, Val. Thank you for being here. We and our other friend took shrooms and watched this, and it was very cool. It was a little bit stressful because I had to what's the word? Oh, I had to find this because I thought it was on archive.org or on YouTube or something. And for, I don't remember, it's been a minute, but for whatever reason, that version wasn't working or it wasn't like correct or whatever. So I had to torrent it. And that was a whole thing. Torrenting something when you're on shrooms is fun. um, I don't think that this is quite as serendipitous as people made it out to be, but there are some pretty uncanny moments that are just like kind of crazy, to be honest. So, um, overall, it's cool. I don't know how I would have felt about it if I wasn't like extremely high or like tripping. You know what I mean? Like just watching this sober, maybe it wouldn't have been as profound or like I don't know. But it was kind of nice to not feel like I had to focus so much on what was happening in the plot because I actually haven't seen The Wizard of Oz in a really long time. And just kind of coast on vibes. I think. Let me check. Oh, Jeff, thank you so much. Jeff sent me 50 bucks on Venmo. My Venmo is at Celeste La Cabra if you want to do that. Um, Jeff, you have already helped me out this month, so that's like extremely, extremely generous, and I really, really appreciate it. Um, can I edit my my tip thing? Let me see if I can do that just for fun. But I'm gonna hit this again for you. Just pretend that it says Jeff. Tip 50 bucks. Thank you so much. You are the best. Let me hang out over here again and see if I can do this. Mm. It is not letting me change the number. I'm trying to see if we can change the goal. Because I want it to reflect where we're at. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, I know that this is extremely exciting. Um, we'll figure it out. Pretend it says 70 and whatever percentage that is. You don't need to apologize, Jeff. I really appreciate it. I will technically keep more of that money that way. It'll just be less visible. You know what? I'm going to try one more thing because I just want this to work. Let me vamp for a bit while I see if this will work. Right. Go to my dashboard. Go to my widget settings. Tip goal. It is not letting me do it, even on here. That's sad. It should let you do that. I could reset it. Let me try that. No, I didn't. Now it's not. Oh no. We're learning as we go. Now, I thought it would let me re-put in the thing, but it did not. If somebody knows how to do this. Let me know, I guess. Um, hmm. You gotta bounce. Have a good night. Make sure you're here on Sunday. Thank you so much, Jeff. You're the best, and I really appreciate it. All right. So my dumbass doesn't know how to do this, and I have reset our goal. But pretend we're at 70. I don't know. Is it worth me trying to keep doing this? I could end it and then redo it, and then it should let me. You know what? Fuck it. We're already here. Let's just do it. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. I think I can do this. So this is our goal. This is where we're at. Save that. And then I think this is going to work. I think this is going to work. Put my settings in here. Change the source. Hit done. Why didn't that work? Okay, here we go. Ugh. I am straight up like just figuring this out as I go because I'm new to this. So thank y'all for being patient with me. Hey, did it work? We did it. Now we're at 11.67%. Please be proud of me. We figured this out. Okay. There's got to be an easier way to do that in the future, but whatever. Yes, it works indeed. Thank you. Thank you all for believing in me. That's so kind of you. Look at that. We're at double digits in our percentage here. Very cool. Thank you, Val. Val's very sweet. Everybody say happy birthday to Val. It's his fucking birthday today. All right? Can we get happy birthday, Val, in the fucking chat? All right? Because I had to miss his goddamn fucking birthday yesterday on account of Pluto pitching a fit and getting herself sent to the goddamn hospital. How fucked up is that, honestly? We had been planning this party for weeks, dude, and I had to fucking miss it. That's so shitty, man. Can I, Yeah, hell yeah. Thank you, Nosferatu. Out here. Happy birthday. Whatever. Okay. Where are we at? Where are we at? Where are we at? Hi, Bailey. Thanks for being here. I love seeing new faces in the chat, unless you're not new, in which case now I have egg on my face. Am I right? Vegan egg. I have tofu scramble on my face, huh? That's probably not an original joke, but I promise I came up with it just now. Okay, where are we at? We got 4 titles in, and we are almost an hour into the stream. What time is it? 6? 6:09? Trying to go at least another hour and a half, so hell yeah. Oh, let me get back over here. Not to put you on blast, but Val is actually working on a stream overlay for me so that this won't be like over top of each other. There can be little like actual designated spots for all these things, you know? So that's cool. What are we doing? What are we doing? Yo, Tony is back. Let's go. Hey, Tony. Thanks for being here. Look how far we are in our goal. Isn't that really exciting? It was a whole thing. Getting it to reflect on screen. Stream setup. Okay, sick. So, Dark Side of the Rainbow, recommended on drugs. Okay. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Actually, my friend, who I will not dox on the stream because I don't know how comfortable they are being discussed on my streams. If you're not in the chat, I try not to like use names or whatever, you know. But This is what we watched when I hung out with them for the first time because this is their favorite movie. This is their like autistic hyperfixation, and they've seen it like 100 times. So we watched that. Um, it's a fun movie recommended for clown freaks and friends. Val in the chat, you're a clown freak. Are you into this movie? I don't remember. I played a gig with the Dickies at Original Mics when I was in a band like 6 to 7 years ago. Is that? I'm not remembering if that's relevant to Killer Clowns, to be completely honest. But yeah, okay. Killer Clowns. This is, I think, okay. Val, the certified clown freak, cosigns Killer Clowns. It's a fun movie. I really like it too. I need to get that 4K from Scream Factory because I just have the Arrow Blu-ray like a chump. I might keep it actually because I think the features are different. But I bought that when it was out of print. I bought it. That was my first Orbit DVD purchase, which was really exciting. Dustin, thank you for being here. You missed my very long story about what's going on with my cat. But as you can see, we have a donation tracker in the screen, on the screen, going on right now, which is very cool. It's the band that sings the theme song. Did they play the song when you... I'm going to tell my friend that tonight, that you got to do that, because that's really cool. Did they play it at the set? Is that like a staple in their set? Because that would be really cool. Anatomy of a Murder. A friend of mine came over and we watched this because they're a big book person, which is very intelligent of them. And, they had been reading a book about true crime and its depiction in films. So this film, Anatomy of a Murder, is based on a real court case that happened, right? It's based on a real thing, where this is the birth of the defense by insanity defense, I think. Or at least it was popularized this way. Anatomy of a Murder is a masterpiece. It sure is. That movie's so fucking good, dude. As you can see, I gave it a 9 out of 10. My drummer helped us get the gig because his favorite movie is Killer Clowns, and they wore the trick-or-treat costumes for the show and were in the mosh pit with them on. That's so fun, and they did play the song. That song is such a banger, dude. Oh, your drummer wore the costume, not the band. Okay, that's fun, though, still. Killer Clowns has been popping off at Spirit Halloween, I think, right? Like a lot of that going on. Oh man, I'm seeing the movies I have to talk about next, and here we go. Anyway, Anatomy of a Murder. I think that this is basically a masterpiece. Yeah, I think that this is one of James Stewart's best performances. I mean, it's tough to, when you're talking about like a guy who was in Vertigo, you know, that's a tough one. But yeah, this one's real good. He says panties in it. That's really fun, right? He talks about panties. I didn't think I was gonna do it, but I went for it. The James Stewart impression. The Jimmy Stewart bit is resurrected once again. All the videos where I do it on my channel are gone now, so there you go. It lives again on this channel. I think this film is really morally complex, and not to get into like spoilers or anything, because even though the film is like 100 years old or whatever, I still believe not to spoil it. That's my big pet peeve, is when people spoil old movies because, oh, it's old, so you should have seen it by now. As if on the day you were born, you should have seen the entirety of cinema and literature and whatever. Like, that's so stupid, but whatever. I think the first time I watched it, I didn't pick up on this, but watching it again, I was like, damn. Jimmy Stewart is not the good guy in this movie. This movie's fucking bleak, actually. Like, it's not a happy ending, I don't think. It's pretty rough, actually. I'm getting notifications from the news. Okay. Nothing crazy. No camps announced or something like that. That was dark. Okay. Yeah. I watched the Columbia Classics 4K, which I think... Have they done that separately yet? I don't think you can get it outside of the set, but it looks amazing. It's like the restoration is unbelievable. So there's that. Um, what else we got? Shadow of the Vampire. Okay, this was more podcast prep for Girls Guts and Jello. I did not like this movie at all, if you can tell from my rating. Uh, I was disappointed. I really was, because Willem Dafoe is playing Count Orlok, or is playing Max Schreck as Count Orlok. Um, it's directed by the guy who did Begotten, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's one of the strangest, most disgusting, like weird films ever made. I didn't like this at all. I hated it. I thought like none of it was funny. I thought it was like aesthetically hideous, and I don't know, it felt like amateur hour shit. I just did not like it at all. I'm sorry, but what can you do? It just wasn't for me. But, you know, I'm glad I saw it. It's on my Plex server if you want to see it. I just watched Preminger's Angel Face. I really liked it, surprisingly bleak. Yo, Angel Face is amazing. Is that the one that I'm is that the same movie that I'm thinking of? Let me pull it up. Yep. 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 Otto Preminger, Robert Mitchum. This movie is great. I saw this on the Criterion channel back in the day. It was on my Blu-ray wish list for a minute. It's on the Criterion channel now. That's really cool. But Warner Archive put it out on Blu-ray, which is really cool. Robert Mitchum is one of my favorite actors, one of the best to ever do it. Check this one out. Okay. Next is Babygirl. I'll try not to talk about this one too much because I'm still gonna do it. I have a script written for an analysis of this movie because I think it is extremely important with the issues that it talks about, and I think that it is relevant to a lot of things happening in my life right now. So that's a weird tease, but anyway, this is from the director of Bodies Cubed, Bodies, 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 and it's fucking incredible, and I love. Holy shit, Dustin! Jesus Christ, Dustin, you're the best. Thank you so much. Oh my god. Sending love to you and to sweet Pluto. She is so sweet. Ugh. Okay, you're the best. We're over a quarter way through our goal. Goddamn, dude. Bless you, Dustin. You're just so fucking sick, honestly. Let's run that back. Look at that shit. Godzilla is stoked. Everyone say thank you, Dustin, in the chat. Everyone tell Dustin how fucking awesome he is. He's the best. Ugh, I feel like, I don't know. It's so stressful when you just are in debt, you know, and then you have to go through this again. You just have this surprise like $600 bill. It's just the worst. And like the feeling that I just am one step closer to not dealing with that as much is just incredible. So thank you. This is queer mutual aid right now. Y'all are incredible. All for Pluto and Dancing Godzilla. Let's fucking go, dude. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, everyone's hyping up Dustin in the chat, as he deserves. Sick. Alright. Babygirl. You can expect a review on the channel at some point. I know it's not fucking relevant at all anymore. I have been there with sick cats and big bills. Feel for you. Dude, yeah, it's the worst. Thank you. You know what? I'm gonna put this out there to the chat. Do y'all recommend pet insurance? Because I had it when we first got the cats, and it was just a bill. Like, it didn't cover anything. Like, it didn't cover, like, preventative care. It didn't cover, like, emergency bills. I was like, what is this doing? Why do I have this? You know? But goddamn, dude, a $600 bill is no joke. So I'm like, okay, do I look into that again? And, like, when an ex was looking into it for their dog, it was just, like, the same thing. It was like, we don't cover preventative or emergencies. And I'm like, those are the two categories of things. What the fuck? Like, so if somebody has pet insurance and they recommend it, please drop it in the chat, because I think we might need to be there again. Yeah, Babygirl is one of my favorite films of 2024. Speaking of which, I do have plans. I'm making a lot of fucking commitments just here on chat, because I'm just talking off the dome, off the cuff, whatever. That's how it's going, right? The plan is to do both a top 50 first-time watches of the year and a top to be determined films of 2024. So I want to do that still, even though it's kind of late. I want to catch up on some 2024 releases and do a list. We'll see how it goes. But that's gonna be really high on it because it's a fucking amazing movie. Probably my number three right now, something like that. I don't know. I'd have to look at the list again, but there we go. Another question for the chat for anybody who wants to answer it. How do you determine what a 2024 release is? Because from what I'm gleaning, nobody counts like premieres. Like if it premiered in 2023, but then it didn't get a theatrical release until 2024, that's a 2024 film, right? That's at least what I've come to understand. Like if it has a limited theatrical or a wide release or a what do you call it? Um oh, like a digital or like physical release. Like if it starts on streaming platforms or whatever, that's the release date. But like a premiere at a film festival is not the for the purposes of year-end lists and stuff like that, that's not the release date. Because with the way things are now, like things will premiere and then take a year or even two to get theatrical distribution, you know? Like I think Sing Sing was like 2022 almost. Like it was really a while. And it was still eligible for the 2024 Oscars or 2025 Oscars, right? So like Red Rooms had a very limited theatrical release in Canada in 2023, but it didn't premiere anywhere else until 2024. So I think that that's technically a 2023 film, but I've seen a lot of people put it on their 2024 lists. So should I count just the first theatrical run in general or the first theatrical run in the States? I feel like it should just be in general. That feels very like America centric in a way that I don't like. What am I talking? Oh, like Evil Does Not Exist also is a similar thing where it premiered in Japan in 2023, but Janice picked it up for here in 2024. So I'm like, do I watch that for the list? I don't know. Taking suggestions in the chat before I do my first official year-end list. Next is The Keep. I watched the Vinegar Syndrome release, which looks beautiful. The Keep is very much a film where people will say it's like all style and no substance. And um, one of my favorite like sort of ways to counteract that, to quote my friend, uh, sorry, I'm reading the chat and trying to talk, which is a mistake. Because people are being kind enough to answer my questions. Joshua Conkle from the Bloodhouse podcast, screenwriter extraordinaire, he likes to say style is substance, and I like 100% agree. Like sometimes I see what people mean when they say style over substance. Yo, Bart, fucking shout out, thank you. Another 10 bones to the Pluto fund. We're at a cool 30%. We're like a third of the way there. That's fucking incredible. Thank you all so much. Fuck, what am I saying? But I kind of just agree. Style is substance. Like, it's silly to pretend like style isn't part of the substance of a film, right? And this is one where I think the style is so good that like it doesn't really matter that the plot is kind of scatterbrained or whatever. It would be nice to have that unearthed director's cut or whatever, but or that lost to unearth that the lost director's cut, but I don't think that's gonna happen. So like, it's all about the fucking the vibes, the style. Michael Mann is like the fucking man, you know? They call him Michael Mann for a reason. Bro knows how to stylize a fucking movie. And like, yeah, that's the script is a mess, but that's not really his fault. And I think it still works, honestly. Um, I love this movie. So yes, an 8 out of 10. Big fan. I haven't gone through the supplements or anything yet, but I'm happy to have gotten that limited edition. It is what it is, right? I'll read the booklet and I might be selling off the limited edition contents and just so that somebody can upgrade their standard to a limited. I don't know, we'll see, but I might hang on to it because it's really good artwork and stuff. But I love the keep. Okay, chats. Chat. It's sort of the same issue with healthcare for humans. Pet care, you essentially have to pay out of pocket, then file a claim to get reimbursed. That's so fucking stupid, dude. Like, just cover it, you know? I you know what? Right now I'm doing it. Putting it on my like general to-do list to put to look into. Nope, that's my list of videos I want to do. That's a secret. Uh Look into pet insurance. Okay. It's on the to-do list. This is what happens when you have executive dysfunction and autism and stuff. You gotta make a fucking list. Whatever the official US release date is how I decide the year. I think that's how the Oscars decipher it, not festival year. That's tough with Red Rooms. I think I'd do 2024 still. Yeah, I think that generally theatrical is the way to go. I wouldn't go with festival premiere. Um, like that part I've pretty solid on. But yeah, Red Rooms. It's weird to me to be like, oh, your Canadian film isn't from 2023 because you only debuted it in Canada. Like you only did a theatrical run for Canada. That just feels weird to me. But like I know that like the UK, like they had Poor Things on their 2024 list because it didn't premiere until then. Um, so like that's fine, but it feels weird. Like as a person reading that, like nah, dog, like that was out already, you know. IMDb counts international theatrical release. Let me see if I can pull up an example because right here, The Damned says 2024, even though it's a 2025 film. So let's pull it up here. And then we go to the releases tab because it premiered at 5 different film festivals before it got picked up for theatrical. And then it premiered on January 3rd, 2025. So to me, this is a 2025 film. Like all these festival dates don't count. So let's pull up on IMDb. IMDb also says 2024. I just don't agree, So I don't know. 5.7 is like outrageous, by the way. This movie's really good. Go check it out. If you like folk horror, if you like beautiful cinematography, like go check this shit out. Let's see what their release stuff says. I will say it should have a better title than The Damned, because that's silly. Okay, well, actually, maybe you're right. IMDb release date. It says January 2025, but it says 2024, like at the top when you just pull it up. What does it say for Red Rooms? Let's run some fun experiments here. That might be easier for me. Holy shit. Haunted Sideshow with another $100? Bro. I don't even know what to say or feel or do right now because that's just a lot for me. Thank you. We're halfway through. We're halfway to our goal. That's incredible. Y'all are amazing. Everybody say, I think before I say this, Haunted Sideshow, your name is Patrick, right? Right? Am I correct in that? When I get that confirmation, everybody fucking shout him out in the goddamn comments. Red Room's release date is 2024 in France. Okay, where do you get that from? Release date. It is? Okay, everybody say thank you, Patrick, in the fucking chat right now. Shout out to you. You are the goddamn best. We got the heart face and the cat emojis. Let's run that back. There they are. Amazing. Thank you. I feel like for $100 we should run it back like 10 times or something, Can I hit that shit again? Hell yeah. Let's go. So we have a lot of film festivals here. All right, we're getting to the bottom of this live because it says France, January 2024 is when this shit premiered. Thank you all for helping me thank all our wonderful friends. Y'all, you don't need to do the upside down face. Like we all love and appreciate you. Y'all are the best. Oh man. Okay, what are we doing here? I think Night of the World, I think you might have cracked the code here. IMDb release date is the way to go. Let me see what it says on here again. I'm finding the discrepancy. Because it says theatrical limited on August 2023. So what was that? August 2023. Canada. Yeah, this is just a release date. So what is happening? We are figuring this out right now. Yeah, in August it just premiered in Quebec. Or is that just a why does it just say Quebec? That's weird to me. Because it doesn't say what city in the France or whatever. I guess whenever it doesn't have this gray parentheses is where it's gonna be. You know what? I think you're right. Haunted Sideshow, to make my life easier, we are just making the IMDb release date the fucking the fucking way to figure this out. What about Evil Does Not Exist? What do you say? So this is 2023 there, which is fine because that's when it premiered. 2024 in Japan. But it premiered in Turkey in 2023, and in Italy in 2023, and in Hong Kong in 2023, and in Thailand in 2024. It doesn't premiere in Japan until April, until my birthday, actually. So then, sorry, if this is boring, let me know. We can move on, but I'm just trying to figure this out. If we go here, we have a million premiere dates. Oh, maybe I was thinking of a different one? Because in the theatrical limited, yeah, it's also 2024. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. Was I thinking of something else? Who knows? You know what? I'm letting Jesus take the wheel. I'm letting IMDb, our Lord and Savior, take the wheel on this, and I am just gonna go with the IMDb release date. I don't know how they make that distinction. I don't know where the difference is, but that's just what it's gonna be. Yeah. All right. We figured it out, team. Shout out Night of the World for figuring this out. Night of the World, if you have a name that you'd like me to address you by, feel free to drop that in there as well. We've been hanging out at about 20 viewers, which is very cool. Because this isn't like a special thing or anything. I just kind of did it. So, I mean, it is special because we're fundraising for my beautiful cat. But, you know, like last time it was like an Oscars thing and I like hyped it up. And this time I just kind of did it and people are showing up. So that's really cool. You know what? Let me check on my cat, see if she wants to come say hi. See if she wants to say thank you to all her lovely friends. Pluto. Pluto, you're right here. Come here. Pluto. Sweetheart. Come here. Pluto. She's hiding under the bed again. She's being shy, you know? It's important to respect boundaries. So we're not going to make her come out. It's fine. Okay. Where are we at now? The Keep. Oh boy. I was not prepared to talk about these movies. Okay, so if you've been following my Letterboxd journey for like a year now, you'll know that I am a little bit hyperfixated on terrible Christian movies. That is almost exclusively, or at least this is how it started, but now I'm just kind of like this. Pluto is still in her cone, yes. I really wanted to bring her out so everyone could see her in her cone. But that's why she's pitching a fit, because she's still in the cone. So what can you do? What else? What else? What else? What am I saying? Oh my God, Christian movies. Okay. Last year, if you've been following my personal life, was the worst year of my life, and it was just fucking terrible, and I barely made it through. And one thing that I found helped me was watching things that I didn't have to think about or that I didn't have to analyze or whatever. Like, because even with like schlocky horror movies, I'm in a mode where I'm constantly like analyzing stuff, you know? So that is what it is. And I started listening, catching up on the podcast God Awful Movies, which is the sister show of maybe my favorite podcast of all time, The Scathing Atheist. They have like six different shows, and God Awful Movies is their one where they review terrible Christian movies. I didn't listen to it for a long time because even though they're very good at just like giving you a scene by scene description of what's happening, I kind of like tune out, or like it doesn't really work for me as well if I haven't also seen it, because like the jokes aren't going to work as well if I haven't like seen what it is that they're talking about, you know? And I wasn't at the time that the show came out, because I've been listening to it since it came out. I didn't have the time to watch a bad movie every week and then listen to the episode, because the episodes are like 2 hours too. So um I would just kind of here and there catch up with like if I had happened to have seen the movie, or if it was just like something that everyone's talking about, like God's Not Dead or something, I'd check that out too. But recently, trying to catch up again, I just sort of was like, well, let's try watching along and see how that goes, because it seems like it was like pulling fingernails or something to watch these awful movies, you know? But I found myself enjoying it, just watching these terrible, awful movies and then getting to listen to like genuinely maybe the funniest people on the planet like roast them and talk about them. Was just a very comforting thing for me in dark times, right? So I've tried to keep that up, and I'm like watching along as the episodes come out weekly, but I'm also trying to catch up on the backlog. So people have seen me watch a lot of bad movies. It's just nice to get a break, you know? But it's also, I don't know, like these people exist, and like they have an audience, and like you kind of get a window into how their minds work and like what it is their priorities are and all this other stuff. It's very much a know your enemy kind of exercise, I think. So yeah, I've been enjoying it. And I gotta say, Best Friends Eternally, this is sort of, I don't think this was my first entry into the Grampsiverse, but there's this guy uh who had a movie called Gramps Goes to College, and so he just started calling himself Gramps in a lot of these movies. And he has the kind of extended Grampsiverse. Donald James Parker. He makes, I think, the worst movies of anybody I've ever seen, and the most ideologically like odious and like horrible. Like they're so bad. Like every movie he takes a tangent to talk about the evils of Harry Potter, and not in the way that is actually accurate, in that the Harry Potter novels are kind of racist and problematic in a lot of different ways, but also just that J.K. Rowling is genuinely one of the most evil, harmful people on the planet right now. It's not that. He thinks that it's actually like satanic witchcraft that will infect the minds of the youth, is his angle on it, right? Which is a little bit weird to be talking about in 2015 or whatever. Like it's a whole thing. But yeah, it's also kind of okay. Let me catch up on some chat a little bit. Growing up, we had it rough. There's this soap opera called La Rosa de Guadalupe, where they tackle sensitive topics with a Catholic perspective, and it is terrible. It is also known for um, traditional parents to force their kids to watch episodes regarding specific issues they are having in their households. That's a great recommendation. I'm gonna send it to the God Awful Movies people and check it out too, because that's a yeah, Mexican side of TikTok has a bunch of these clips uploaded. Yeah. And Dustin says, I've been worried you're gonna get reindoctrinated. Yeah, that's not gonna happen ever. But especially not from this shit. Like I think their tagline on the podcast is like, because if God really existed, his PR team wouldn't be this bad. Like there's no risk of it whatsoever. Like the quality is so bad, you know? Like there are good religious films out there, but like they're not, generally speaking, like explicitly proselytizing or targeting people or trying to like change minds. Like they're actually just creating art from that perspective. Like Sufjan Stevens has a much higher probability of making me go back to being Christian than any of this shit does, you know? Um, I guess that's just the takeaway. Christian fundamentalists, if you're watching, if you wanna draw in the youth, you got to get a little fruity with it, and that's just diametrically opposed to their worldview and their political project. So it's not going to happen. So um, that's another thing I want to say that is helpful about this is that it is kind of cathartic because I grew up Catholic with a lot of religious trauma, and like the perfect example of this is they did an episode of The Passion of the Christ, which is a film that has genuinely traumatized me, given me, I mean, if not actually, then pretty close to PTSD. Watching it very young, and it's been a point of therapy for me for a long time. It's been a really hard thing, honestly. And listening to them like make fun of it in the way that they do and skewer it was actually very healing for me. And so kind of readdressing these ideas and seeing them for how silly they are when they did so much damage to me has been cathartic. So that's my long preamble, I guess, or my long explanation for why it is I watch so many terrible Christian movies. This is kind of also the only slice of film where I can kind of see how people enjoy like so bad it's good stuff. Because a lot of that stuff I just think is good or I just think is bad. Like watching Birdemic, it is kind of fun to watch with people because it is so egregiously terrible. But like, while I'm talking, I should switch the thing so that people can actually read the chats on screen. I gotta fix that. Figure out something there. Um, what was I saying? Maybe, you know what? Maybe for over here, we should move the chat. I don't know. There's not really enough room to put it because if I put it over here, how's that gonna look? That definitely looks better. And then I guess when the donations pop up, they'll just cover it for a second. But that's fine. Let's just keep it here for now, right? Um, Again, y'all are watching me kind of figure this out in real time. Thank you for your patience. So now I can hang out here again. Okay, cool. What was I saying? um, anyway, I totally lost my train of thought. If anybody can remind me. Let's just catch up on chat. Maybe I'll come up with it. Birdemic. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, when you're talking about when you watch Birdemic, it's like awful. And you can kind of have fun with how bad it is, but it's not good. Like it's not actually like that much of a fun experience watching it because it is so bad. Um uh but like and a lot of stuff people watch, like they do secular bonus episodes for their Patreon, and it's fun, like just because they're really funny, and I get to watch movies that maybe weren't on my radar, but like they do like Vinegar Syndrome movies over there, and like a lot of those movies I just like they did Dolls, and like I just like that movie, so like it's not really fun in like it's so bad it's good kind of sense to watch that. But with the Christian stuff, it is so bad, and it is like kind of like the right ones are fun to watch in how bad they are. And Donald James Parker, I think, is the master of this, where like I have a blast watching his movies, and they're also like the worst ones out there. They're actually just extremely watchable. Like I just kind of enjoy watching them, even though they're all like 1 out of 10s. Anyway, catch up on chat again. The priest at our church had a whole youth retreat where they sent out all the kids doing their confirmation to watch it. That is one of the points of my trauma with religion as well. What was in the video that you had to watch? Because I definitely it's not just the Passion of the Christ. There's other videos I had to watch growing up that traumatized the shit out of me. Late response to How'd They Do with the Cone. This was years ago. Jones is in The Kitty Beyond. Oh, but your vet was right. They will guilt you. Pluto is smart and he'll try to trick you into taking it off. Yep. Yep. She's pitching a fit. She's trying to trick me. It is what it is. I'm really sorry that your cat passed. That's really sad. I don't want to start crying on stream, but I had to kind of think about if that might happen yesterday, and it was really awful. So thankfully she's alive. She's pitching a fit again, but hopefully she'll eat her dinner tonight, and then we'll see how it goes. At the vet on Wednesday. Hopefully she makes it there. And I don't have to take her back to the goddamn emergency vet and do this all over again, right? Just want to say I appreciate you. You're awesome. Stoner Paranormal Investigations, thank you so much. That's very kind of you. Smash that like button, subscribe, and support this channel. Yeah, do that. Hit the like button for sure, but if anybody here is watching is not subscribed, you actually do get the Godzilla thing if you subscribe as well. Just saying. It's a cheaper way to get Godzilla up on the screen, but in any case. Best friends eternally. We are not catching up to the beginning of the year. This might just be an ongoing project for a while. To catch up and get me kind of used to streaming. I felt the same way watching some of those Hallmark holiday movies with my aunts during one Christmas. Those movies are often Christian, though less explicitly. Yeah, the Hallmark movies are not something I've gotten into. Either unironically or ironically. I've not really seen any of them. I don't really have an opinion on them one way or the other. But yeah. What else? Best Friends Eternally. This is a movie about a Christian, played by Donald James Parker, and an atheist, played by his real-life friend, who, in universe, were war veterans in Vietnam, I think. And so they've been best friends for life, but constantly, like, argue about religion over, like, chess matches and stuff. And this is basically just the journey of his friend's sort of conversion from, hardcore atheist into deranged conservative fundamentalist Christian. Doesn't make sense on any level. Like, at the beginning of the movie, they're just mean to each other. It's like, well, what are you friends for? Like, you share none of the same values, and your only interests seem to be going to war and chess. Like, I don't really see what you're getting out of this, but whatever. Followed up by the sequel. This is a trilogy. Best Friends Recycled. I don't even remember what happens in this. Oh no. Oh no. This is the one. This is the one where he tries dating again, and he, like, gets punished for having premarital sex, and, like, he tries to kill himself because he had premarital sex, and, like, his friend, like, goes, like, out to like an Applebee's type restaurant to, like, find him a suitable mate, and, like, there's just a bunch of Christian girls at the table, like, talking about how they just need a proper husband to submit to and everything, and he's just like, hey ladies, I've got just the guy. And it's like, I don't know, just complete deranged Christian fantasy sort of thing. Christian dating, you know how it is with these people, I guess. But, like, the most bizarre version of it, there he is. There's the man, DJP, and then there's his former atheist friend, and then the girls they date, I guess. It's the whole thing. Anyway. Next. Dial Code Santa Claus, aka, what is the alternate title for this? I don't remember the alternate title for this. Dangerous Games, I think? Deadly Games, Dial Code Santa Claus. I rented this through 3dblu-ray-rental.com, which, if you're not familiar with, you can rent boutique Blu-rays and 4Ks, a la DVD Netflix, but all the cool shit. And it's very affordable. It's like, depending on what level you go, it's like $6 or like $4 per disc. 3D Blu-ray Rental, you all should sponsor me. I've been talking y'all up for a minute. This movie was fun. It was, like, really mean in a way that I wasn't expecting, but it was fun. I liked it. It's very much like Home Alone. In fact, I think they went to court over this. They might have, where, like, this guy was like, hey, y'all clearly stole my idea. But from what I understand, I think the consensus was that it was just a coincidence. Yeah, it's really good. This was a fun holiday watch, and the 4K looks great, obviously, because it's Vinegar Syndrome, and it always does. So yeah. there's that one. Do I have anything else to say about it? I don't know. I enjoyed it and I had fun with it. And then finally we have Best Friends Genetically Modified, the conclusion to the trilogy, and maybe the worst one. This is just the um anti-science talking points back to back to back to back to back for like 2 hours straight. It's insane. Basically they like convert a scientist into all of their deranged opinions about like fluoride and GMOs and all this other stuff and like vaccines, and it probably shouldn't be on YouTube, honestly. These movies are free on YouTube, by the way, but I think I actually reported it because it's like literally just misinformation that could kill people. Um so it was less fun in that way, but you know, there's still something. Um uh Joe Bob, I think you mean Ran, code Pere Noel. I'm not really sure what this means, to be honest. A few years back, don't know if it's still up, but therefore Shutter Havers. Ran, code Pere Noel. Is that an alternate title? I guess. Um, I've never watched Joe Bob. I don't really know what the haps is over there. I know it's like a thing for people, but yeah. What's next? Funny games. Ooh boy. This is another one that I a friend came over to watch this. This was the first time we hung out and this was what he wanted to watch, so we watched it. I thought it was great. I really liked it. It's got that insane John Zorn song at the beginning, or what's the name of it? Um is it Torture Garden maybe? Oh yeah, hey Val. Val, have you seen Oh, dial code Santa, swipe text is killing me. Yeah, dude, swipe text can be a whole thing. um Val, have you still not seen the original or have you just seen the remake? Uh Funny Games is a classic. Sure is. Have you seen The Rule of Jenny Penn? It came out in Australia this week in theaters. You know, I've been trying to see everything I can in theaters, and that was on my list, but it was only in theaters around here for like a week, which can be hard for me with my schedule. I have to see movies in the morning basically because I work from like 2 to 10 p.m. Generally speaking, so unless it's playing on a Tuesday, which is my day off, or a weekend, and I don't have other things going on, which I usually do. I'm very busy. It can be hard for me to see movies if they only play for a week, which there are a few things playing right now, like Ash and Magazine Dreams are two films that I really, really want to see in theaters this week, but they're going to be gone after Thursday. So I have to kind of figure it out, or maybe catch it on streaming later, which I don't want to do. I want to see it in the theater and I want to support it, you know? But no, I have not seen The Rule of Jenny Penn. It's on my watch list, and actually, let's search it up. Jenny Penn 1N? Yeah. Okay, it is on my watch list. It's not on streaming yet, and it's not showing near me. Let's see what IMDb says is the release date. Yeah, there's the other poster for it. 2025. So says IMDb, right? That lighting is better, but I can't just have a bright screen on me at all times. I gotta figure out lighting, you know? That's a whole thing. If anybody's seen this, let me know what you think. I know Dustin's seen it because I see his review right here, so I guess he liked it. But we're talking about Funny Games. Came out the year of my birth. um, okay, Val, you've only seen the remake. You should definitely check out the original. I don't know that I want to rewatch it so soon, so maybe not together, but you should watch it at some point. The original Funny Games has a better atmosphere. The original Funny Games is a classic, but the remake isn't too bad either. What do you think of the new Haneke box set coming out from Umbrella? I haven't really looked at it yet. I'm behind on my reconnected viewing. So there's that. I think it's all of his movies, and it's just Blu-ray, right? The Year of Our Celeste. That's me. Am I the Lord? I guess. I'll take it. I appreciate it. Um, if I'm God, that means that there needs to be some tithing involved, right? That's how this works. um, but yeah, I'll go ahead and just scroll up a bit too because I watched after my friend left after watching Funny Games, I was not sure what I thought about it, and I wanted to kind of see, except the Funny Games remake. That's interesting. Well, then I don't know about that. I like the way my brain works. Like if it's gonna be complete, it should be complete. You know, that's just kind of close. Anyway, I'm sure it's a good release. It looks really nice. I don't know what's going on in terms of features or what restorations are going on, or if there are mm, any 4Ks in that. I kind of doubt it, but yeah, special features would be kind of the reason to check that out. You know, in terms of Umbrella releases, I still want the Caligula. That's like the one thing from them that I really want because that box looks gorgeous, and I would just want all the cuts because I love that movie and I want to see the new cut. And my friend Heather Drain does a ton of shit on it, and she's the best. So yeah, um, shout out Heather Drain. Yeah, after my friend left, I was just kind of thinking about it, and I was like, I really want to. I almost like wanted to rewatch it to like because I couldn't quite get a handle on what I thought about it, and so I was like, you know what? Let me just. So I went and got the remake, and I put it on my Plex server, and then I watched it. Like, so I watched these back to back, and I do think that they're both great. Like, I think that they're very similarly good. Like, there's a few key differences, and I think if I were to rewatch one of them, it would be the original. But I like both of them for different reasons. Naomi Watts is a fucking queen, and I love her so much. And she stars and produced this, and she's just great. It's very, very similar. It's almost like shot for shot, but I like both of them. What can I say? I think it's a very, very good remake. Next is Curse of the Cat People. I should say that a lot of these films I watched because I listened to the Bloodhouse podcast, which I've already shouted out at least once during this stream, and you know, they're pretty good about spoilers, but still, I don't want to have to worry about it. And it's going to be a better listen if I've seen the movie, and it's an excuse to watch really cool films that maybe were not going to be on my radar otherwise. So yeah, Curse of the Cat People, 1944. This is a loose sequel to the original Cat People, which I've also seen and really like. But I like it. I think I like this better. I need to watch Cat People again, but this film. It's directed by Robert Wise, which is crazy. Like the guy who did West Side Story and The Haunting and shit. And it's beautiful. It is so fucking gorgeous. Like it's a very snowy Christmas movie, and God, I could just live in it and watch it all day. It's barely a horror movie. This is basically just a film about like an autistic child. It's not said that way, but that's clearly what's going on. And how her parents kind of like try to force her into a mold and don't listen to her and don't let her be herself and all. It's actually kind of upsetting in some regards, but it's also very beautiful and cathartic. And to me, it's kind of like a call to like let your children be who they are and like, you know, to not like force them into a mold that doesn't fit and to believe children when they tell you things. Children's rights are very important, and I feel like we don't talk about that enough. People love using children as like a bargaining chip or like as an excuse to like advocate for violence, and like a lot of pro children rhetoric is very fascistic because it's not actually pro children, it's just pro parental rights, or an excuse to like deem somebody a monster and then like enact violence on them. But like actual children's rights are extremely important. Listen to kids, let them be who they are. And I was like, what the fuck is on my mug? But it's my lipstick. Nerd of the 80s, shout out to you. Hello. Good to see you. Can we at least get through January? Brother White, another god awful movie. This is Jesus Christ. This is a film about a guy who is a pastor and he wants to be like the head pastor or whatever. He wants to be promoted essentially. And he does get promoted, but the catch, listen here, the catch is that he has to preach instead of in LA, he has to go to like Atlanta or something in like a very poor black neighborhood and be their pastor. And his name is White. He's a white guy in a black neighborhood. Isn't that funny? What a what a hilarious premise for hijinks to ensue. A real fish out of water story that I'm sure fundamentalist Christians can handle with the utmost sensitivity, right? Um, it's not great. It's not great. I think I had just been watching so many Donald James Parker movies that this seemed tame in comparison in terms of like its ideology, and the filmmaking is like Citizen Kane compared to that shit because it's like an actual movie with like a real uh like producer behind it and shit, like a real studio is what I mean to, is what I meant to say. Who's the guy that's in this? Whoa, Mambo a Go Go. I don't know who you are, but thank you so much for the $50. That's incredible. Thank you. Yo, we're over halfway to our goal of getting this fucking vet bill taken care of. Y'all are amazing. And Pluto says thank you. Let's let's go here. Let's go here. Okay. Let's run that shit back. Hell yeah, dude. You're the best. Thank you. Um oh, thank you. Y'all are incredible. I love you all. Okay. Um David A.R. White, let's go. Mambo a Go Go, thank you so much. You're the best. I don't know your name, so I can't thank you by name, but everyone say thank you to the Mambo. Let's go. The dad from Family Matters is in that. Yep, that's who I was gonna pull up. Um, yeah, he's in this fucking movie. He's like the previous pastor or whatever at the black church, and you know he's in Die Hard. But where I know him from is one episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, the one where they the McPoyle versus McPoyle. It's one of the funniest episodes, and he plays the judge, and he's very good in it. That's literally where I know him from. I mean, I've seen Die Hard. I don't like it, but I've seen it. Oops, hot takes when I'm supposed to be guilting y'all into giving me money. Yes, thank you, Mambo. Everyone, shout them out. The best. Y'all are the best. What are we doing here? Yeah, but he's in this. He's a good actor. He's in a few of these terrible movies that I've seen at this point, and he's a good actor, but Jesus Christ. So that movie's bad. More terrible shit. Left Behind, World at War. Is this the third one? I think this is the third one. Yep. Because this is the second one that I also watched. Um, it's bad. I don't know what else you want me to say. I think I was barely paying attention to this one, but it's bad. The first Left Behind movie is actually kind of I'm a time shifted, disconnected watcher, always down to help out a kitty. Thank you. I don't know what you mean by time shifted. Do you mean you're in a different time zone or what? But thank you so much. I really appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. That would be dope. And you'll get another little thank you message come up on screen. But well, super glad to have you here, and thank you so much for your donation. The first Left Behind movie is kind of amusing enough, even though it is very offensive and bad, but they just get boring after that, and they get way too convoluted and overambitious. Yeah. Next is Christmas with the Cranks. This was a secular bonus episode of God Awful Movies, and it's bad. It's a bad movie. Oh, time shifted, meaning you watch it on rerun so you don't go to the chat. Yes, same. Sometimes I can pop in for a bit, but I don't generally have like 3 hours or 4 hours to kill on a Thursday night. Because I'm doing my own content creation things and such, you know. And sometimes I'm at work, which is actually usually the best time for me to watch it. But you know, let's do a Pluto check. Can we get Pluto? Hello? Hey, Harp. You have many fans. Would love to see you. Pluto. You wanna come out? Pluto. She's further under the bed, so I can't even pet her this time, but she is alive. She made a noise, and she is still hiding and trying to guilt me into taking the cone off, but it's not going to happen. Okay. What else we got going on here? Christmas the Cranks. This movie's bad. It's like the writing is terrible. It's really mean. Like this dude is the fucking worst. He like kills a cat in this movie, and it's supposed to be funny, and we're supposed to like root for him, but he sucks. It's not good. It's like watchable, I guess. Jamie Lee Curtis is in it, and she's a good actor, and she is really hot. There's that. There's like a very um like partial, like it's very titillating like partial nudity scene in this like kids movie, which is interesting, but there's that. um she's like almost naked, like coming out of a tanning salon in like a public mall, and like the entire town goes to like look at her, and it's like, I don't know, it's the whole thing. The Devil and Miss Jones. This is a classic adult film that I watched because I'm also going through all of the Rialto Report episodes and trying to watch along best I can. This movie's weird. Like, it's really weird. It's not particularly erotic. It's not particularly well written or well made. I don't understand why this was one that took off as like a porno chic, or like Roger Ebert gave it a positive review. Like, there are better porn films for sure. And she like low key almost fucks a snake in this. It was extremely uncomfortable. There's just like, it's strange to me that this is also the guy who did Deep Throat, which I have not watched yet. But like, when I was watching it, I was like, this is somebody who has never had sex before, who like doesn't know how it works, like guessing as to like what people would find erotic, or like what is like enticing about that. you know? Excuse me. We're still in January, right? Yeah, okay. Um, I might try to finish January, but I'm getting a little bit tired, and we'll see. I don't know. The $50 donation gave me an extra win, so I don't know. If you want me to keep going, keep it up. But The Devil and Miss Jones. It's okay, I guess. I downloaded a very bad print of it because it doesn't have a nice restoration out, and I couldn't find a subtitle track to match it, so it was kind of hard to tell what was going on. But yeah, it was okay. It's interesting enough. Like, it actually has a compelling plot and everything. So there's that. Next is Moonfall. This movie's terrible. Roland Emmerich disaster movie. Not good. It's just so ugly and like overly convoluted, and like I guess it's kind of watchable at least, but it is painful. It's not good. Oh, the most embarrassing thing I think I've ever seen happens in this movie twice. The guy who plays Sam Tarly, is that his name, in Game of Thrones, is in this as like a kind of lovable nerd, conspiracy theorist nut. And at one point in the film, he says, "What would Elon do?" He named his cat Buzz Aldrin in the movie, which is cute. I'll give him that. But then later, for seemingly no reason, some like the main guy, Patrick Wilson, who shouldn't be in this, is like, Jesus Christ. He's like, they're like trying to save the world or whatever, and he says that like, he's like working for the government, and he says our friends at SpaceX are going to help us out with this. And then Samuel Tarly, or whatever his name is like, God, I love Elon. It has aged so badly, and it was the most cringeworthy thing I think I've ever seen, watching somebody actually say that in a real movie. I'm like, why did you say that? Like, or were you hoping that he would shout your movie out on Twitter and it would like make money? Did SpaceX like sponsor this movie? Like, it was really bizarre. What's going on here? I got phone notifications. Oh, nice. Mambo followed me on Letterboxd. Thanks. I appreciate that. um oh man. I just have too much to say about all of these. The next one is Promising Young Woman. I don't like it. It's well made. It's compelling. It's very watchable. I watched this with a friend. This subject is very triggering for me, so it's tough for me to watch movies like this, but I also think that this is really lazy. I think that this takes a very sensitive and important issue and just kind of, it's like the really annoying, like kind of hashtag girl boss, like pop feminism version of like rape and revenge. Like it sucks. Like I don't like it. I just think that all of the nuance in this conversation is like taken out back and shot in the head, and like it's just not good. There's some really good writing on this film. The Faculty of Horror did a Patreon episode about it that was really good. Kind of talking about why they didn't like it. Again, I just think that it it tries to come up with easy solutions to nuanced problems, and it like positions every single man as like a cartoon villain. And again, like the it doesn't present like every woman as a saint. It's not like that kind of like lack of nuance going on here, but it just like it presumes that every person who is even tangentially related to an incident like this is like capital E evil, like an actual bad, horrible, irredeemable person. And like I don't know. It's just again, I saw it a couple months ago, so I'm maybe not talking as eloquently as I'd like to be, but hopefully y'all know what I mean and what I'm talking about here. I don't know. It's just like this kind of like quippy like Instagram version of like really serious issues, and I don't fuck with it. I don't know. Like it is well made. Like I did find it really captivating, which is why I didn't have a lower score. But uh, yeah, I don't know. There's some really good reviews on this that worded it better than me, but I think that this is kind of irresponsible and not as um radical as it thinks it is. And also, okay, I'm still talking about this, but like it's trying to do like an elevated version of Rape and Revenge, which like it's inherently like endorsing a very very punitive model of justice for this sort of thing, like a very much like punishment based system here that we're advocating for. And like rape revenge movies do that as well, but they do it in such an exaggerated way that it is clearly catharsis and not like an actual political prescription. And if it is, like, you know, that is what it is, but at least it's owning it. And it's like most uh like it's like Death Wish, but like the feminist version or something like that, you know, like movies like I Spit on Your Grave or something. But this attempts to be like more thoughtful and more like it's like it's like, well, we're not that. We're not sleazy like that. We're like, you know, we're like the more updated 2020s version, post Me Too version of this stuff. And I'm not a fan. Anyway, I'm gonna stop talking about Promising Young Woman, but I don't want to get too specific about it, but it's frustrating. Next, can you tell how uncomfortable I was talking about that? The subject is very triggering and uncomfortable for me. But anyway, um, Blue Velvet. I wanted to watch this because David Lynch passed away, and Val, who might still be in the chat, watched this with me. And I watched the Criterion Blu-ray, and the whole time I was just thinking how much better I bet the 4K looks, because there are some issues with the Blu-ray where it doesn't look as good as I would like it to. So I'll try to be upgrading that 4K as soon as I can. But yeah, in any case, Blue Velvet is amazing. It's pretty close to just like a perfect masterpiece. I don't have it quite at a perfect 10, but yeah, I love Blue Velvet. It's actually a really fun thing. Oh, hey, Lee, thank you. I appreciate it. $5. Hell yeah, to the Pluto Fund. Let's go. Y'all are the best. Thank you so much. She appreciates it, and so do I. She's dumb, so she doesn't know why she appreciates it, but I certainly do. Um, yeah, it's really fun watching this post a Twin Peaks viewing, because the first time I'd seen it, I had not seen Twin Peaks. So, watching Kyle MacLachlan basically do that character, but like a younger version, and a lot of the themes present in Twin Peaks are here. This like kind of disgusting, seedy, awful underbelly of like Americana, you know, like
That theme really runs through most of his work, but it's especially prevalent here and in Twin Peaks. And this kind of feels like a spiritual sort of prequel to Twin Peaks in a way. It's a great movie. I still need to go through all the features on that Criterion because it is stacked, but it's beautiful and I love it. So if anybody has takes on Promising Young Woman, drop them in the chat because I feel like I didn't articulate myself as well as I wanted to, and my takes might have sounded more problematic than I meant them to. But whatever. We're live. I didn't script this. I didn't even remember that we were going to be talking about it, and it's a sensitive subject. So I don't know. If any of y'all have any takes, let me know. Um, Moving along. Solo. I wanted to watch another one that I watched with my friend Val in the chat. I watched this with him and another friend of ours. Lee Taylor, thank you again. I appreciate you. Yeah, I hope so too. I think it will. Um, it's just a financial thing, but I think she will be okay. I think we've got her on some stabilizing stuff. I think we've got her ready to go for a follow up soon. And, she's got a care team behind her. She's got people who care. And we're here. We're going to do the thing. So, yeah. Um, I really just got to take a second. We have $335 banked right now. Y'all have no idea how much that means to me, how much that's going to help me. I literally have $30 in the bank to last me the rest of the month. So like y'all have made it such that I can actually get my car fixed before it's a problem. And then I will have something to do. Like I'll have money to like pay off this insane bill that I got out of, that I wasn't prepared for. I also had to pay my personal property tax for my car this month. So like where I thought I had some comfortable spending room, I like because I moved halfway through the year and everything, there was some mix up with the mail and like with the bill and everything, and so I had late fees and I had to pay two different counties, and like that was $300 that I had to pay for that. So that put me in kind of a bad spot. Like, and then all this happened, and like it's just a fucking nightmare. So there's just so much going on, but I'm like gonna be moving in the next few months, and like y'all are there, and it really means a lot. And I don't know, it's just kind of insane that I was in a really bad spot 2 hours ago, and now I'm in a much better one. Thank you all so much. Solo. Watch this on the eve of the inauguration. It's something that I've been meaning to rewatch with the looming fascist takeover, and now we're just kind of in it. And I wrote a very in-depth review on it on my Letterboxd that I'm very proud of because after I finished it, I just had reactions to it that I wasn't expecting, and so I just needed some time to process it, and I really needed to write out what I thought about it while it was still fresh. So I might make a video version of it just because I basically did the analysis. Just might need to turn it into a video. I don't know. But it is extremely uncomfortable and important, and I don't know. I think it is more nuanced and more in depth than even its fans give it credit for, but certainly than its detractors give it credit for. But for me, it's a perfect movie. It's one that I've thought about a lot since I first saw it back in 2020 is the first time I saw it, and I've just been meaning to rewatch it since then. It's crazy. But it's an amazing film. I watched that Criterion Blu-ray. I need to go through the supplements on that too because it's pretty stacked. But it looks great on that restoration. And another quick plug, I'm going to shout out my friend Sam Deegan on her now defunct Twitch of the Death Nerve podcast. She did a episode on this with my other friends, Charles and Annie from Girls, Gus, and Jello. They did a discussion on this film, and it was really helpful for me to kind of like parse through my complicated feelings on it after I had rewatched it. You know what I'm realizing is that I did not mark this as a rewatch. So let me fix that. I have watched this film before. Save. Nice. All right. We're still at a pretty strong viewership here. I thought maybe people would start to peter out here, but yeah, we're still doing pretty good. After that, this was my friend's recommendation. They thought that we should maybe watch something a little bit more inspiring and less grim after this. So we watched this documentary, Big Crow, which is about a um, native basketball player on a reservation who was doing like really cool things, um, kind of like raising awareness and like raising money for like a youth center at the reservation in, I think it's North Dakota. Um, Hopefully I got that right. Uh, and you know, she passed away in a car accident pretty young, and it's just kind of like a film about her legacy and about the reservation and about the ways that the community has come together to honor her and like help each other out and pick themselves up and everything. And it's just like it's really good. It's very inspiring. It's very cool. It's pretty underseen, and it is on Tubi, so it is free. Go check it out if you want some examples of native community and resistance. Uh, it's switching gears. This was another god awful movie. This is, I believe in Santa. This is a Netflix original. They're not sending their best. God damn, y'all. Y'all are the best. 9-volt DC. $10. Hope this helps with the vet bills. It absolutely will help with the vet bills. Um, Man, this is nuts. Thank y'all so much. You know, I shouldn't at this point because y'all always come through, but like at a certain, you know, before this, I was like, this is kind of last minute and I'm asking for a lot. I kind of wonder if I'm gonna walk away from this stream with like 20 bucks, you know? Um, but y'all really came through for me and I really appreciate it. Um, 9-volt DC, I don't know your name. Feel free to pop in the chat and then we can all say thank you. I really appreciate it. Damn. I don't imagine we'll get to the goal by today, but maybe by next week, you know, we'll have had this thing done. Thank you all so much. This has also been really fun for me. Like I'm kind of wearing out my voice a little bit as I tend to do with these things. I need to like practice or figure out a way to use my voice that doesn't tire it out this much. I don't know how our friend Ryan Disconnected does this every week, just like talking for this long, but he does it. Um, I believe in Santa. This movie's fucking stupid. It's a movie about a grown man who literally still believes in Santa and like starts dating this girl who is like a non-believer, and it's it's made out to be like a point of contention, like a Christian dating an atheist or something, except it's just like a guy with like an untreated mental illness dating like somebody who's not dealing with that particular delusion, you know? It's not funny, it's not well made, it's not good. It's bad. So, but if you need a terrible movie this coming Christmas season, I guess that's an option. Next. Oh, The Room Next Door. I got to check this out in theaters. This is the new Pedro Almodovar film. I had heard some mixed things about this, but I loved it. I think it's beautiful. It's a really, really well made, well acted, well written, philosophically complex and interesting movie that I agree with the things that it's saying. It's a movie about euthanasia. It's a movie about end of life care. It's a movie about terminal illness, about a lot of different things, and it's just shot so gorgeously. And Tilda Swinton and Julianne Moore, two of the best actors working today, like point blank period, just do an amazing job with this. Julianne Moore in particular is one of my favorite actors and gives a really great performance in this. So yeah, this was in theaters for a little bit. I managed to catch it. I was having a bad day and I wasn't sure if I had the energy to go to the movies, and my friend talked me into it, and I'm glad that they did because I went to see it and I loved it. So I think this is out on, well, let me see. Is it streaming yet? Hello? Uh-oh. Okay, we're good. I thought maybe my computer was gonna crash. It might still, who knows? Okay, so I guess you can rent this now. I don't think it's on disc yet, but anyway, you can see it. You should check it out. It's beautiful, and I love it. Next, The Muppet Movie. My friend came over to hang out with me, and we wanted something light and cheerful. And this is to me is the essence of light and cheerful. This movie makes me so happy. It is so beautiful. The Muppets are fucking goated. Check out the Muppet movie. I really hope that Disney gets their shit together, um, and puts these out on 4K because they would look gorgeous. And to get like a fucking proper extended cut of the Muppets Christmas Carol on 4K would just make my year. Like that's near the top of my Blu-ray wish list. Because it looks like shit on Disney Plus, and the Blu-ray looks better, but it doesn't have that crucial scene. So Tony, no worries. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I am looking forward to seeing you next week. It will be probably 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time because I'm working a market next week, and so I'll need to finish working and then give myself a second to rest up. But yeah. Next, Disciples in the Moonlight. This is another deranged Christian movie. It's about these like underground. Okay, so this envisions. This is like I think the logical end point, end stage, like the actual peak of like the Christian like fetishization of like oh, it's going to be 7:30. Let me text my friend real quick. Sorry for the break. I'm just texting them my address so they know where to go. Well, don't let me forget what I was talking about. Christian persecution fetish. Um, yeah, it's about a version of the United States where the King James version of the Bible is banned, and they oh, way too late, but my partner uses care credit for pet insurance. She likes it. I didn't know that they also had insurance. I just thought that they provided like a line of credit specifically for medical stuff. I'll look into that. Thank you. Um, what was I gonna say? What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, Christians are certainly under attack, right? um, but like, yeah, it's a film in which the Bible they make it out like the Bible itself is banned, but it's not. It's like there's just like a government approved one with the hate speech taken out. So like that's not great, but it's like it's not like the fucking Bible or Christianity is banned. Like there's like scenes where they go to church and they're preaching like love and acceptance, and this is like presented as like a dystopian hellscape. Like it's fucking crazy, dude. I think I watched a trailer for this during a YMS live stream. That sounds like the kind of thing he would cover. Yeah, it's real bad. And so like they're like doing this like guerrilla style like Bible smuggling, and so it's like this like gritty thriller about like the right to be a bigoted piece of shit. Like, it's real bad. I don't know what else to say. I think we can do it. I think we can get through January. One nation under God. More fucking awful shit that I subject myself to. This is this is another one. I don't know how they do it. This might even be more ridiculous. I don't know. It's actually pretty hard to top like people getting shot in the street for like preaching the Bible or whatever. But like this is a film where the Pledge of Allegiance, like they take out under God, and like they go on this like legal crusade, and like they debate presidential candidates about keeping God in our country and shit. It's fucking absurd. It's terrible. You don't need me to tell you that. Just Christians, man, they want to be persecuted so fucking badly. Like a friend of mine posted on Facebook, like maybe we should give them what they want, and like I don't know about that, but like it is insane how they think that like how they have convinced themselves and like the rest of the country that like being a bigot should be like a protected thing, and if you can't discriminate, then you are yourself the one being discriminated against. It's fucking nuts, dude. Oh man, next I got to see Better Man in the theater. This movie's amazing. I still think about this movie like all the time. Like I know that it was like a tough sell for people because nobody knows who I forgot his name already. The guy, Robbie something. Robbie Williams from Take That and Solo Acclaim. Nobody apparently outside of the UK knows who the fuck this is. I didn't either. And then he's a monkey for Robbie Williams. Thank you, Matthew. And then he's a CGI monkey for reasons that aren't immediately clear, but like I'm gonna sell you on this real quick. It's actually really, really good. Like it's a very like kind of honest. It's not really a puff piece. It's kind of like it is self-indulgent. It is like self-obsessed, but also it's honest and like it is like riddled with self-hatred. It's kind of relatable, honestly. As a similarly maybe self-obsessed, self-hatred riddled person. But like the reason he's a monkey is because that's how he's seen himself his whole life, is like just like an ape among people. Like he's just kind of like faking it until he makes it, right? Like it's this sort of like visualization of imposter syndrome, and it just really works. Like it kind of creates a kind of sadness and absurdity to the whole thing that kind of takes out the romanticized elements of like this hardened drug use and like bad behavior and all this other shit that he's pretty honest about. And I gotta say, the rock DJ dance sequence is done in one take, and it is maybe the most amazing, insane one shot sequence I've ever seen. It's fucking crazy. I love this movie. Go check it out. You can't see it in theaters anymore, and it fucking bombed hard. But if you can get a disc of this, or if you can just check it out somewhere, I really highly recommend you do it. Um, one of them days, my coworker and one of my best friends, the same person, went to see this with me, and we both loved it. It's great. It's like a really, really well made, well written, funny buddy comedy starring Kiki Palmer and SZA, who is hard to believe is a real person. She is so gorgeous and so talented. But it's very much like Friday, like that kind of thing. That seems to be like the primary inspiration, I would say. But like it's a very familiar like sort of plot structure. It's not reinventing the wheel or anything, but it is really funny and it's got a great soundtrack and it's really good. Check it out. It's one of my favorite films of the year so far. Next is The Queen of Spades. This was another Bloodhouse joint. It's okay. It's good. Like it's really beautiful. It's another like gorgeous like snowy film. And it's really well acted, but I struggled to keep my attention and I don't know. I didn't love this one, but it was okay. I see I'm down to 10 viewers. People are petering out here, and that's understandable. Um, so let's just do it. I'm gonna try to power through January. The Brutalist. I love The Brutalist. I saw it in the theater with a friend of mine. I'll be doing an analysis of it. Mark my words. Hold me to it. But it's great. Tigers Are Not Afraid. This is a really sad Mexican horror film about cartels and children living through like the worst imaginable circumstances, but it's also like a fairy tale and has like a kind of Guillermo del Toro inspired fantasy element to it. I don't think all of it works, but it mostly does, and it's very emotional, and I enjoyed it. Um, Hell Comes to Frogtown. This is one of the most absurd movies I think I've ever seen. The premise is just insane. It hasn't aged that well. It's kind of offensive and kind of gross, but it also is so absurd that it's kind of impossible to be offended by it. And there's weird frog guys and a lot of sex and just weird shit going on in this one, so it's worth a watch at least. Um, The Shout, uh, this one I enjoyed. It's an it's a Polish film about a guy who learns from his time with native people in Australia to shout such that the people who hear it die. It's kind of a crazy movie. It's a really strange thing. What is this? Oh, thank you. $25. And you got to include this GIF thing? I was like, what is happening? MLD Enerta. I don't know how to pronounce that name, but thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'm not sure who you are, but you're a real one. You're a fucking goat. Let me play your thing again because it had a GIF and everything. Nice. There it is. Matthew Dennert, thank you. I appreciate it a lot. Maybe it's a typo. I don't know. Because like you just pick a username when you do it so that it shows up on screen. But thank you, Matthew. You're the best. I appreciate it. We're at 61%. That's crazy, dude. Um okay, The Shout. I think it is maybe a little bit questionable in its like use of native folklore and stuff like that. And it's a little bit slow, but it's really beautiful. It's really weird and offbeat, and it's kind of got this like there's a movie I'm thinking of where I don't know, it kind of reminds me of Images, where like it's unclear what's real and like what's happening, and it's almost a little bit like Rosemary's Baby in that sense too. It just these are films that it reminds me of. Um, Jesus Christ. Next is Alex's Wars. This is a documentary about Alex Jones. It was unclear to me whether or not this would be like a puff piece pro Alex Jones thing or like an honest assessment of his like monstrous behavior and like terrible ideas. And it's not 100% either of those things, but it is mostly a puff piece, which was really disappointing. It's kind of really deceptively edited such that you think that they're making fun of him, and they are a little bit, but like it's in service of like because he wants you to make fun of him a little bit. That's part of his appeal, and that's part of how he gets people hooked, you know? And so it's like kind of doing his work for him. I don't know, it was really disappointing and it sucked and it was way too long. So there's that. Nausicaa, or the Valley of the Wind. Yeah, I enjoyed this. This is a Studio Ghibli joint that I had not seen yet. I got to see this with a friend because it was one of their favorite movies. And I did really enjoy it. Yeah, in Waking Life playing himself. That's the is that the Linklater film? I'm not sure what that is actually. Um Nausicaa. Yeah, I just thought it was a little bit like the pacing was a little bit it's a little bit too long. It's a little bit it overstays its welcome a little bit, but overall it's beautiful and you know, thematically it's kind of obvious, but it is correct, you know, like Miyazaki is one of those guys kind of like David Lynch or kind of like Honda, Ishiro Honda, who just kind of returns to the same themes over and over again. But they're important themes and they make sense, and it's like it makes sense to be like uh to oh, you know what? I think my problem was that I found it really kind of hard to follow the lore of it. It was like a lot of lore that was kind of dumped in a short amount of time. But I think I think I would like it more on a rewatch, so I wouldn't so I'm not like trying to catch up figuring out what the hell's going on. And I can just kind of enjoy the visuals and stuff. Val, I'm glad you like Nausicaa. It is really good. I think I was talking about something else and I got distracted. Oh yeah, Nausicaa is your favorite out of all the Ghibli movies. That's interesting. Yeah, a lot of people have that opinion, and I think I need to rewatch it. None of my expectations are out of the way. But my favorite is Princess Mononoke, which is being shown in IMAX on Wednesday, and I'm bummed that I can't make it because I'm going to a show in DC, but what can you do? Um, Next is Debbie Does Dallas. I hit this with a solid 5 out of 10. It's not very good, but it is a thing that exists, right? Again, this is another like kind of really popular porn film, like one of the essentials, like starter pack ones, and I don't know, it's fine. It's kind of amusing, but it has maybe the most uncomfortable sex scene I've seen in one of these, where like this dude straight up comes in this girl's eye, and man, the thing is, they hold the shot for like a while after that. Like the guy came, like you think that'd be like cool, cut, give her a second to clean up, but nope, she powers through and she keeps sucking that dude's dick for like 3 minutes with like a full load in her eye. It's just it's gross and it is tough to watch, but I hope she got a raise. Okay. Um, Presents. This is the first of two new Steven Soderbergh films coming out this year. I'll be seeing Black Bag sometime next week, but I thought this was great. Yeah, Anthony, it's not very good. It's a whole thing. Presents. This is like a family drama framed as a paranormal horror film, and it is filmed from the perspective of a ghost haunting this house, which is a really cool conceit and premise for a film. But I don't know. It's really good. I didn't like love it, but I did really like it, and it has stayed with me, and I think it is really well written. Um, yeah, there's just a couple tropey things that happen that I think are a little bit unfortunate or like kind of lazy, but in any case, it's really good. And There's a basement needle drop in this. Covet by Basement plays during its most upsetting scene, and that was the feeling of like being excited that like one of your favorite bands is in a movie that you never hear in movies, and like also the horror of what's happening on screen was some like tonal whiplash that was very uncomfortable for me. Is this the last one? Companion. This is before I was doing my out of the theater reviews, but pretty close to. Um, I think I started doing that not too soon after, so I haven't got the chance to talk about this, but I loved it. I said in my Opus review that that was my favorite horror film of the year, but I forgot about this one when I said that. This is, I think, just by a hair, my actual favorite horror film of the year so far. I think it is really unfortunate that the trailers just straight up spoil it. That's stupid and shouldn't have happened, but it is what it is. In any case, yeah, it's really good. I don't know, it's really entertaining. It's really well made. It's just a really fun sort of original modern horror film, and produced by Zach Kreger, our goated boy from Barbarian and Whitest Kids. Sophie Thatcher is like unbelievable. It's so good. Or she's so good in this, and she's like a fucking star. And like a person who gives me extreme gender envy and just how attractive they are and how they pull it off. I don't know. But that's that. What else do I want to say anything else about Companion? I don't know. I just really like it. It's a good one. Oh, I got to see it in IMAX, which was really cool. So there's that. That's it. We did it. I think I need to log off now. We did 2.5 hours. This has been a lot of fun. Y'all fucking showed up, and I love you and appreciate you so much. Um, Thank you. We'll do this again next week, yeah? And maybe we'll reach our goal next week, and that would be fucking sick. Thank you all so much. You know what? Let's run it back. Let's thank everybody who donated. One by one. Tara Kirk, thank you. Nosferatu, thank you. Dustin, thank you. Bart, thank you. Sorry about the delay here. Haunted Sideshow, Patrick, thank you. Mambo, thank you. Lee, thank you. 9-volt DC, thank you. And Michael, thank you. Y'all are the best. Yeah, last few comments here. Under the Skin soon? Yeah, I plan on watching that. It's very high up on my watch list. I need to see it real bad. Have I heard about the Ed Sheeran and Cradle of Filth collab? Yeah, that's been happening for like a while. I don't know who's featuring on whose song, but that should at least be interesting. But Cradle of Filth is one of my favorite bands, and I'm not a fan of Ed Sheeran, so I guess we'll see how that goes. Anthony, thank you for streaming. Love to you and Pluto. Love to you right back, and your beautiful cat as well. And yes, this was fun. Thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out. Whew. I'll see you next week. $370. That's fucking crazy. 61.67% of the way through our goal to get this fucking bill paid. Thank you, Matthew. Much love to everybody. We'll see if we can tackle February next week, right? All right.